Hi everybody, how are you today? Are you good? I'm feeling really good this morning. I've got a lot of great things to tell you about as part of my January favorites, and I feel like I'm really drawing off of maybe even a longer span of time than a month here, because the last time I really did a favorites thing was the Emily Awards, and so that was partway through December. So these are favorite things that kind of took shape. I started really making notes on them from about mid-December on. So this is a great list of favorites. I feel super strongly about these things. I was excited to do the video, even though Eve has started waking up in the night again. It's not cool, guys. 1, 2 in the morning, crying, teething, I think. It's some long nights, everybody. It's some long nights. And that transitions me perfectly right into my first thing that I am going to talk about, though, which is this Real Techniques Under Eye Reviver. I mentioned this is part of a set right back here that sits sort of in the background of my videos, but those are some skincare brushes from Real Techniques, which I reviewed this whole set. I will have to link below so you can really get the specifics on everything there, but one of the most fantastic parts of that set is this, and this isn't actually rolling. Your under eye creams and things aren't gonna get like swooped down under this ball. It's just this immobilized little ball that's super duper cooling, and I like to use it when I apply an eye cream in the morning. So I just get it on there. I don't fully 100% blend it in with my fingers, and then I just go in with this and I start moving it around, and it feels so refreshing, so cooling. I don't know, it just makes you feel so alive. You need something like this, especially if you've had some long nights like me. And the hair is kind of sort of bothering me today, so it's going behind the ears. Okay, I've got a couple of foundation-y type loves. One of them is this NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. Been experimenting with this on and off since Christmas time. I did travel with this around that time. I am in the shade Vienna. It's a really good shade for me. I'm wearing it today, and it's a surprisingly good coverage foundation. Let's face it, when the words natural and radiant are part of something, you don't always think coverage. But I really would classify this as a full coverage foundation, and very little comes out with one pump. I usually use 2 pumps of this because it's such a small amount that's dispensed, but it blends out super nicely with a brush. It does have a very natural appearance on the skin. It doesn't look too flat, even though it has managed to give you very, very even coverage. I've enjoyed the staying power of this. A real test of that is when you go for like a night out and you've been eating and talking and just doing so many things, and it's late when you get home, and then you look at yourself and it's like, did everything hold up? And when I wear this, yes, I feel like everything held up. If you would like to see more details on this, more of like a real application and nitty-gritty type of, talking about everything as it's being applied, I can do that. But I definitely have been testing this on and off for over a month now, and I'm really sure of what I think of it at this point, and I think it's fantastic. My next thing is more of a BB cream, really light coverage, quick and easy type of product on the skin. Now in the Emily Awards, I know I named my Rimmel BB cream as a favorite again this year, and it really is an amazing thing. But since that time, something else has kind of come in that I felt like experimenting with for whatever reason. I think I was just remembering back to when this had been recommended to me by some viewers. I tried the regular Garnier BB cream, just the original one that had come out, and it's really light coverage, it's fine or whatever, but more than a few people had said, like, it doesn't really matter if you have the oily combo skin that this one is labeled for, but this one works really well, and I must say it does. I have it in light to medium, 5-in-1 Miracle Skin Perfector. Like, I remember way back on my channel, one of my most popular videos on my channel was comparing different BB creams, and the original one, the original Garnier one, was in that. But long since that time, they have come out with the oily combo version. This does have SPF 20, and it's very, very liquidy, but this does have like a little more coverage than I was expecting. It makes my skin look really nice. It's not to a full coverage place. It's not doing what this NARS is, but it's evening out a lot. It's making it look very, I think, naturally radiant, and the staying power is honestly quite good. And I don't consider myself like oily to combo, but this is still moisturizing. It's still somewhat nourishing. I'm not really sure what this is doing for the people who are truly really oily. Does it work for you in that capacity? Because I'm pretty normal, verging on dry, especially this time of year, and it works great for me. So I just wanted to throw that out there as another great drugstore BB cream option. For me, it's like right up there with the Rimmel, and maybe it's the tone tone of this that's playing into that, but I might even like just the finish on my skin from this even better. Did a big, super informative video on Julep within the past month or so, and this is a brand that I think really flies under the radar big time. They've got some phenomenal lip products, a lot of really great products just here and there throughout the line, and one of those things is their So Radiant Diamond Powder Bronzer. I have this in medium tan, and this is what a bronzer is meant to be. Like, it's not a contour, although you can kind of do a little contouring with it, but it is really like the purpose that I think bronzer needs to serve in this world, because it does give you a little bit of subtle glow, but it is so natural, like putting it around my hairline. I'm like, yes, this looks so good, but it's that subtle sheen and the perfect tone. This is not too orangey, okay? It's real tan in a pan. That's what this is, with a subtle glow. Subtle glow, subtle glow. I'm wearing this now in the dead of winter, loving the way it looks on my skin, and you can bet this is gonna usher its way right into the summer months where I'm starting to spend some time at the pool, and this will be like that perfect little finishing touch type powder on my skin. It's just so nice and so natural looking. Put it where the sun might naturally hit. It can be a soft contour. It's not too orange for that. It's just one of those beautifully executed products. You know, it's a soft powder. It really just does exactly what you want a bronzer to do. Also on the face, a huge favorite that I just tend to want to reach for all the time is my Shani blush palette. I think this has a name like Fuchsia something. It's a 6-color blush palette. It's on Amazon, and it's a wonderful range of blush here. What is special about this? Like, as you look at this, if you hadn't seen my video, which was products that seem more expensive than they are, this was in that, but like glancing at this, what makes this special to me is the variety of tones. Sometimes generic kind of blush palettes, you'll buy one and it's the pinks, and one and it's the peachy shades. This is everything, okay? Your true peach, a really nice pink here, another tone of pink right here, and then these dusty kind of shades down here, which I love. You know, I love this coral, by the way, but these two specifically, you know, dusty rose, something with a little more of a bronze and neutral tone. I am thrilled that they packed all these different things in generously sized pans into one palette. This is inexpensive. They're so nicely pigmented, but yet you don't have to feel like you got to be insanely careful with them, you know? They're easy to use, and it's every blush shade someone would need. Now, I mentioned some of these things that I'm putting in this video were things that I was even loving, like back over the holiday time when we did a lot of travel. We went out to the Smoky Mountains. We went back to my hometown. We had like one little buffer day at home in between those trips. So I was living out of my makeup bag for quite some time. And the thing that I took with me, for the only thing that I took for my blush, bronzer, and highlight was this Theory palette from Viseart, and it's the Theory palette in Enamored. So they've got a couple tones, and this would be the cooler tone one. I think I actually, maybe when I first talked about these in a video, I may have gravitated more toward the warm, but this one really speaks to me right now, especially when my skin's a little lighter. This like slightly pinky toned highlight absolutely, you know, radiates off of me. I love the mauve blush. You've got a bronzer slash contour shade there as well. But I mean, this thing got used, y'all. Like, this was what I took with me, and the only thing I was using for these purposes, and that's a matte blush, by the way. Works really great alongside that highlight. And it's so small, it's so compact. Like, this kind of thing is a traveler's dream. To think that this could be 3 different bulky compacts, but instead it's just been pared down to this little guy here. The other thing that I traveled with for eyes is equally tiny. Like, this is the size of a credit card, really. The Petite Pro palette from Viseart. This has been out for a while, and I have had it for a while. I hadn't really bonded with it until I was like, okay, I'm gonna bond with it. This is gonna be the only eye palette I throw into my bag for my travels. And this was so, like, smartly, if that's a word, this was so wonderfully designed and put together. Mattes down here, shimmers up here, and the variety you can actually achieve with these 8 small shades is just great, and it doesn't take a lot of each shade either. Like, I know these are small pans, but I'm only dipping like one time into that beautiful kind of reddish brown here, this dark near black, this great khaki color here, matte cream, shimmery champagne, gold, copper, and even this fun purpley shade. So I'm wearing this today, for example, and what I do like to do when I'm using this palette is go into this cream and kind of with a fluffy brush, just get it all over. Like, I put my eye primer on and then get that cream shade all over. copper, because this khaki color, if this is going to be your go-to, like just prep the crease right away shade, this has some depth. So when I kind of prep that area first with the light shade, everything goes on perfectly, and it doesn't seem too dark, it doesn't seem too heavy in certain areas. But I've got some copper on the lid. I also love using the copper out here on the border, even though that looks really, really metallic. It's got enough just like pure color pigment to it to where when you shear that out on the absolute edge of your crease area, it just adds some kind of peachy warmth. So I've got some copper and some gold on my lid today. I smudged this color on top of kind of a plummy dark eyeliner on my lower lash line, and I love what that did, although it did kind of deepen the effect of this shade. It doesn't necessarily look that dark when you've put it out all over your lid, let's say. But there are so many options in here, and again, a traveler's dream. You take these two things, you see how much that can potentially eliminate in your makeup bag. I've got a new favorite lash. This lash can do no wrong. So, ooh, I just caught something. My phone was sliding off my desk and I actually caught it. Normally you guys hear things crashing to the floor, but I caught something. Okay, Cocoa Lashes in Soho. This is probably my new favorite style. They're so full, they're so fluffy. They are a fluffy lash. They are long lengths, short lengths, just a perfect kind of mix of everything. I honestly probably wouldn't reach for these for like every single day type of wear. Like when I'm doing videos, I'm always feeling a little fancy, so I'll throw on anything here with you all. But for a real special occasion type lash, like I wanna look my freaking best type lash, this is it. And what were they, like $6? $6 and maybe some change on the Lady Moss website? Get them. Oh, and for your reference, I did trim them just slightly. I trimmed like this much off of the outside to make them fit my eyes. So if you might have larger eyes than me, like there's plenty of length there, and you can totally just trim them to fit. Here's one of my lip favorites. I alluded to the fact that this would probably be in this video not too long ago, but this Lip Smacker Kiss Therapy SPF 30 Superfruit. You want to check this out next time you're at Walgreens, guys. Oh, it smells so good. I think my fruity candy lovers and or my tropical cocktail lovers will love and appreciate the way this smells. It's so good. It's a really nice texture of lip balm too. I would say it's kind of like traditional lip smackers stepped up a little bit in moisturization and just kind of overall quality. But it's so cute, and they have other scents and flavors of course as well, but this was just the one that I happened to grab and I happen to love it. It's so nice. Nice kind of lip prepping step also. It's kind of, you know, competing with my EOS now for being that first thing that goes on my lips, because it's not too slick. It's got some smoothness and some just, you know, it glides on nicely, but it's not too super slick. So if you want to just straight up top that off with a lip liner, it's going to make everything go on more easily, but it won't prompt anything to really slip outside the lines. Another huge favorite here for me is my Marc Jacobs Limark Liquid Lip Crayon, the shade Night Mauves. That's what I've been wearing in this video. Oh, this shade, like, I haven't had this that long, and look how much abuse it seems like this shade has taken. Like, it has been dropped. Yes, it has been dropped, but I mean, it's been used, but yet it's still plenty of precision on my lips, and I just did the whole video where I tried on every shade in this line. They are fantastic. You'll definitely want to see what some of those other colors look like, but this was the first shade I tried. I think it's one of the most probably potentially universally liked shades in this line. It's got great wear, it's just got a great look on the lips, it's got that little ghost pearl, as they call it, sheen. And then last but not least, I've got two things that are a little more like skin and body oriented. One is another thing from Julep, which I have been experimenting with the Julep skincare somewhat. When I did that video, I mentioned I had tons of makeup to try, but I also had some skincare, and definitely there is one clear, well, maybe two. There's something I'm kind of starting to sort of bond with a little bit, but there's one surefire thing that I absolutely love from the Julep skincare, and it's called Night Shift Deep Sleep Facial Mask. So if you are going through a really dry time, you might not need to use this every single night. This might not have to be your permanent night cream, but if you're really feeling like, okay, my skin needs a ton of extra love and attention tonight, put this on. It says massage a thin, even layer onto face, avoiding eye area. Apply to clean, bare skin or layer over serum and moisturizer. When I've used this, this is just all I've put on. Leave on overnight and rinse off in the morning. It's a treat. It's a treat for your skin. Now, it's a thick cream, okay? This is a thick moisturizing treatment, but it's not suffocatingly thick. It doesn't feel ridiculous on your skin. You don't feel like you're messing up your pillowcases with this, but it's just very deeply hydrating. If you've got dry skin always, or you're just going through a dry skin time just periodically, this is good to have. Now let's talk about your dry feet. Dr. Teal's. Dr. Teal's coming in huge with the foot cream with pure Epsom salt, moisturize and soften, shea butter and aloe vera. I'm not sure if there are multiple versions of this kind of thing, but guys, this smells so good, by the way. It's kind of fruity, like a fruity foot cream. What's going on with that? I don't know. It's a really nice texture. It's not too thick. In fact, when I first put this on, I thought, is this going to be thick enough on my feet to really do anything? But it totally does. And some people will say, the experts will probably say, put this on your feet, then put on a thick pair of socks and then sleep that way and you'll wake up feeling great. Well, I don't sleep in socks. I really don't like wearing socks, period. It really killed me for a while when I had to wear that boot on my broken foot for a time. But I guess part of my point here is this doesn't feel all that thick, but even when you put it on your feet with no sock on top of it, it's doing its job. It's doing what it needs to do. It says shea butter, aloe vera, vitamin E to provide intense moisture and help prevent rough spots. It says use daily to keep feet touchably smooth. I would say use it a couple times a week. It's gonna make a difference. I'm dry not only on the bottom of my feet, but also kind of on the top of my feet and furthermore around my toes too. Like I'm dry everywhere because I am barefoot a lot, I guess. I'm doing it to myself, but this makes it all bearable. So thank you guys so much for watching. That is my January favorites video. The best in beauty. I miss doing these. It feels like it's been forever since I've done one because the Emily Awards just really took over December, you know? But yeah, I'm in a funny mood today. The day's just getting started. Thank you for all of your time, your wonderful comments, your just amazing feedback and suggestions. I appreciate you guys so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.